Yo, welcome back to the channel. I am your boy Jacques Slade, and today, before we hop into all the releases that are coming next week, because there's some pretty good things that are dropping next week, I wanted to give you guys a look at these. These showed up at the end of last year, and I haven't had a chance to really unbox them here on the channel, so I wanted to show them to you guys, because it's probably one of the more unique sneakers we've seen in a very long time. As you can tell from the box, this is from Anta and Kyrie. See, you have the Kyrie logo there on the front end. Something that I don't think we talk about enough is like the detailing that Anta does on the boxes for Kyrie. So you can see here, this is the Anta Kai 2, and this is in the Azuri colorway, which is Kyrie's daughter. And they did some very special things with this pair. So without further ado, let's get right into it. See here, the Kyrie box, again, just top-notch detailing when it comes to the box. This almost, like, this is what makes me like really appreciate when brands go the extra mile and do the details into the shoe. So here is the shoe, and as you can tell right from the jump, this is something way different. Again, this is dedicated to his daughter, Azuri. A note from the folks over at Anta. Jacques enjoy the Kai 2 Azuri, and that they appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys showing me some love as well. So let's take the shoes out of the box here and get a closer look. So again, this is the Azuri colorway of the Anta Kai 2. It's the shoe that Kyrie dedicated to his daughter. And as you can see here, they have these crazy laces on them. There's like this furry material here that's all over these laces. So basically they're double laced. So you have your normal laces like these right here, but then you have this like furry lace material that's going there. My first thought is, I don't know how long these are going to last. I don't think you're going to be able like to wash these laces. I feel like these laces would start not falling apart, but they're not going to look this cool for very long. So if you're wearing these, I feel like you got to know that this look with these laces isn't going to be a stick around for very long. But anyway, more importantly, let's get the colorway, the official colorway. The official colorway, it just says D red and blue. I don't think D red is what they're officially called. Let me look it up right now while I got you guys. I think it's officially called D red. Azuri. What is the official? What is it calling it? Kai 2 Azuri. They're saying it is. What is it? It's in the violet blue. Rose pink. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. All right. Yeah. So the upper is a rose pink, and I really like what they did on the toe box here, because it has this gradient from like a rose pink to like a softer rose pink, so it gives like that gradient color, and it adds a little texture here to the upper, so you can see the difference of the colors here. And then with all of Kyrie's shoes that he's done with Anta, I don't know how close you guys have been paying attention to what he's been doing, but the details are crazy. For instance, you have the Kyrie logo there, and then you have this symbol here. You have the 1123 there on the heel, but then the outsole is where things really start to happen. While it looks like a plain outsole just from first glance, if we really look at the details, here it says the descendant of the Lakota Nation, and it says I am my own muse, and then you have this touch of color going through the middle of the outsole. But the outsole isn't just like a herringbone print or something like that. It's all of these like figures and shapes that are all about Kyrie's life. There's a heart right there. You can see it spells out names here in the back. It's just a really well done shoe, and like they really pay focus on all of the details that are part of Kyrie's life and a part of Kyrie's culture, and bring them into the sneaker to make it one of the most unique sneakers I think that we have right now, especially when it comes to basketball releases. Now the details, again, the details are crazy. You have this extra double set of laces, which looks really cool. And then you have some details here on the tongue. You have some crazy embroidery going on. The embroidery there on the side for the Anta logo looks really dope. And then they have it stitched in here on this side. Again, just really taking things to the next level when it comes to Kyrie stuff. So if you're looking for a pair of these, actually while I'm on the website, let's take a look. I believe most of these are sold out now. Yes, there's a few sizes left, so you can get a men's 4, 5, a 5.5, and then a 15. So if you were looking to get a pair of these, it looks like they're all sold out now, unfortunately. But Kyrie too is one of the better basketball shoes to play in. They use nitro here for the cushioning, and then you have the anti-slip traction there on the outsole. And then this upper, although it isn't leather, it's a synthetic material, but it's definitely going to keep you locked in. And then the tongue is where things become breathable, and you have some perforations here to make sure that the shoe doesn't get too hot. But overall, really great shoe. Again, 125. I'm gonna try these on a little bit later, but wanted to give you guys a look before we hop into the releases of this week. So with that being said, let's see what's dropping next week, because there's a lot of things dropping, including an Air Max 95 that I'm really excited about. So let's hop into here real quick. Okay, first thing coming up is this women's Nike Air Max 95, and this is going to be in velvet brown on January 13th for $200. Now, I have a ton of Nike Air Max 95s. I'm a big fan of the shoe. It's one of the first shoes that really caught my attention, and I really like this velvet brown colorway. That whole gradation or gradient that comes from the bottom all the way up, or if you see it the other way, that from the top all the way down, I think it looks really good. I'm typically not a fan of shoes with a black midsole like this, but I'm not opposed to this one right here. So that's going to drop on the 13th for $200 if you're into something like that. Next up, keeping with the women's line, we have the women's Nike Air Superfly Mock. This is in metallic silver and black. These are going to drop on the 13th for $105, and they're kind of continuing that trend of those low profile shoes. Not something that I'm super into, but if you are into these, you can also get them in this muslin colorway. Now, this muslin colorway actually looks more like just a casual shoe. It doesn't look like something you would wear outside. This looks like more like a house slipper with this colorway on it, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you're into or something that you would rock? Let me know. All right, next up we have Crocs. So Crocs is keeping this thing with doing like licensing their brand out basically to everybody. So you have the Classic Clog collaboration with Coke, and this is going to be on the 13th for $70. But you can also get it in Diet Coke if that's your thing. And I know Diet Coke is such a big thing. I don't get it. The flavor of it is just not like crazy to me. Like, I'd rather have regular Coke than Diet Coke, but I know a lot of people that drink Diet Coke, and I don't get it. If you know what it is about Diet Coke that people go crazy over, let me know, because I'm confused, if I'm being honest. So with that being said, with over a little month away from Valentine's Day, and Nike is doing us a solid and actually releasing these sneakers before the special day. As many of you watching this already know, Nike has a habit of dropping sneakers made for a certain holiday after or on the said holiday. Not in this case, as these Air Force Ones, which is actually pretty cool. They're doing like a full Air Force One collection with the hearts all over, stitched and throughout the sneaker, along with a special charm and a fourth pink pair with a charm. And there's also an Air Max 95 in there as well with a similar theme. So you have the women's Nike Air Force One Low Valentine's Day. This one is in black. These are going to be on the 14th for $125. And this detailing on these, if you're an Air Force One fan, this is a pretty good look in my opinion. Then you also have the one in red, which looks really nice as well. I don't know how often you'll get to wear the red ones. I feel like you could wear the black ones a little more than you could wear the red ones. But if you're into this red colorway, you know, that's going to pop. That's going to be something you can definitely wear. And then there's a pink pair as well. Again, now, interestingly, I think you can wear the black pair and the pink pair more than you could wear the red pair, if that makes sense. I feel like you get away with wearing the black and the pink and as more than you could get away with wearing the red. They have a regular one without like all of that detailing. So this is the more traditional Valentine's Day shoe. I think I like the other one better. So this one's going to be $115 versus the other two that are $125. And then you have an Air Max 95. This is going to be $200, but it has this dope little charm here. Did the other ones have a charm? I didn't see a charm on the other two. So maybe just the 95 has the charm, and it looks like they have a little bit of like a gradient, not a gradient, but like a distressed sort of look on that top level of the 95. And shout out to Sergio Lozano, the designer of the 95. Still one of the most striking Nike running designs that I've ever seen or that I've ever had in my hands. I just feel like that thought of like the spine going up and down and using that to use the shape of the shoe was just genius. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we have the New Balance Absorb 2000. This is going to be in the liquid metal colorway. I'm starting to be more into these. They still haven't won me over exactly, but it is a shoe that has definitely caught my attention. So I'm not opposed to it. Maybe I just need to try on a pair and see how they feel. But those are dropping on the 14th for $170. For you Luka fans, we're going with an all black, well, essentially all black, black and bright crimson. This is going to be on the 15th for $135. And the Luka is one of the better deals in sneakers right now when it comes to basketball shoes that are focused on performance. So again, it's $135 and these are dropping on the 15th. Now, the shoe that has really caught a ton of attention, I don't know if this colorway is the winner, but they've had definitely a lot of this colorway of the Vomero that have caught a lot of attention. But the price point is the thing I think that's kind of holding a lot of people back from grabbing these. This is going to be a women's pair, and they're going to be $230. But it's the black and hot lava colorway. I like that they threw the air on there. Shout out to Scottie Pippen. For those that know, they know. It's a cool little throwback. I'm just not sure about this price point of $230 for Vomero. I really wish these were more like $180, and I think people would be going crazy over these. Going on to some collabs. So Australian-based House Studios is bringing back the 90s with their ASICS Gel NYC 2.0 collab. The two pairs are callbacks to two legendary rap albums from the genre's golden era. Wu-Tang Clan's Enter the 36 Chambers and Nas's Illmatic. While I should say, there are no official nods to albums or the artists, but the homage is pretty unmistakable. So you have the Gel NYC 2.0 Shaolin 93. This is dropping on the 15th for $70. And again, you can see it's not a direct tie to the album, but it's inspired by the album. So those are going to cost you $170. And then you also have the Nas version or the Queen's 94 version on the 15th, and those are going to cost you $170 as well. Now, moving on to the folks over in Phoenix, the Phoenix Nike Book 2. This is going to drop on the 16th for $145, and it's the second colorway that's part of the Nike Book 2 launch, and it comes with a lot of Nike Air Foamposite 1 flavor, courtesy of the sneaker's molded upper. Beyond the nod to the foams, the Phoenix colorway includes a lenticular upper that stimulates flames and the city Doernbecher plays for on the insoles. It's a really good looking colorway of the shoe, and it definitely has that foam feel. I said it over on Hard Pass, but I'm really interested to see in how this shoe can have its own identity. I feel like a lot of the identity of the Book 2 is based on other Nike signature shoes and not just the Book sneaker. Maybe it's just the ones that are popping up in my feed and the ones that I'm seeing make me feel that way, but I would love to know what you guys think. Is there a place or is there a shoe that feels like this is the Doernbecher 2, this is the DB2, or even the DB1? Or do they all feel like they're offshoots of something else that Nike has? Anyway, let me know. For keeping with the basketball theme, we have the Nike Ja 3 Year of the Horse. This is going to drop on the 16th for $165. So the Ja 3 continues to roll with a stunning new pair for Chinese New Year. The red and brown contrast just kind of jumps out from whatever screen you happen to be watching this in. And the pony hair elements on the tongue give it a new dimension that we haven't really seen on previous Jaws. Completing the theme are the special packaging and the Chinese symbols on the insoles that, according to Sneaker News, translate to "take the lead." I'm mentioning the source because I don't want someone in the comments coming after me for messing it up. It wasn't me, guys. This is what they said it says, so that's what I'm going to believe it says. Again, the packaging is crazy. This kind of reminds me of some Jordan packaging from back in the day with that red and the gold, but obviously it's the year of the horse. But the detailing on these is fantastic. I love, again, when brands take the extra mile and really show us something different. That's when it really resonates with me. So shout out to the folks over at Nike Basketball for putting something together. On the LeBron side of things, we have the Nike LeBron 23 Green with Envy. This is going to drop on the 16th for $210. So it's a very unique, obviously, colorway of the LeBron 23, and it's in reference to LeBron James' difficulty in surpassing the Boston's Big Three during his pre-Miami Heat days and the envy he felt before he formed his own Big Three. So it has a deeper backstory to it. I would want the green to be a little more green saturated to give us more of a Boston feel. So this doesn't exactly feel like it's inspired by Boston or the Boston Big Three, but I get what they're trying to do here. Next up for you Nike SB fans, we have the Nike Air Max 95 SB Cocoa Wow. This is going to drop on the 17th for $190. Again, a big fan of 95s, so this one is a win for me. For you Flight Club fans, we have the Jordan 4 Flight Club. This is going to be on the 17th for $220. So in the days before the internet and social media gave us direct access to our favorite athletes, fans signed up for brand-sponsored clubs that provided their audience with like swag and updates on what they're up to. The Jordan Flight Club was Nike's version of a fan club for Michael Jordan and is the inspiration for this new Jordan 4 colorway with the Flight Club branding. You can see they have the branding right there on the tongue. So if you're familiar with it, you know what it's about. But if not, it looks like a very premium Jordan. You see there on the toe box, they have that suede or synthetic material right there, just to give it a bit more feel with that stitching. I feel like that stitching really makes this feel like it's elevated just a little bit beyond what you would get with a normal Jordan 4. On the Adidas side of things, we have the return of the Adidas D-Rose 1 Bulls. This is going to be on the 17th, 130. And this is ahead of what is sure to be an emotional jersey retirement ceremony for Derrick Rose on the 24th. Adidas is bringing back the D-Rose 1 in retro form. While the world might not look back fondly on Derrick Rose's signature shoe line as another Chicago Bulls legend who had a pretty decent signature shoe run, there is a generation of fans out there who will ride with D-Rose, and these are his sneakers. And I kind of ride with D-Rose. He is the guy, like, if he didn't get hurt, what could he have done? Who could he have been? Anyway, next up we have the Anthony Edwards Adidas 2. This is the Lucid Pink colorway. This is going to be on the 17th for 130. Really dope colorway. I like that pink and that black with the hit of red right there. Really good look there. Then we also have the Harden Volume 10 in the Hellcat colorway. This is dropping on the 17th for 160. And then my favorite collection of every year, it's the Nike's 21st Doernbecher Freestyle Collection, and it kicks off this year. The latest collection features patients from Doernbecher's Children's Hospital in Oregon designing some of the most high-profile Nike and Jordan silhouettes from 2025, including the Air Jordan 17 that's on the comeback trail and the Hot Vomero Plus. Of course, what's really important are the kids who design these sneakers and the stories of their strength, courage, and perseverance. So let's talk about that a little bit. First up, we have the Doernbecher from Zach Rumbaugh. This is going to drop on the 17th for $230. We also have the Nike Air Force One from Ali Faison Lancaster. This is going to be on the 17th for $120. We have the Air Max Plus. This is from Sergio Cano. This is going to be $180. We have the V2K Run. This is from Kathleen Verjourney. This is going to be $130. And then we also have the Vomero Plus from Molly Bell, and that's going to be $165. The last shoe on that list is the Nike DNA, and this is from Reagan Sheed, and this is going to be on the 17th for $210. If you don't support any sneakers that released this year, the Doernbecher shoes are the ones you should probably invest your time in. The stories of these kids, if you really like do some research and look into them, these kids have not had it easy, and the fact that Nike and Doernbecher have put this collection together, it always just kind of really warms my heart. Anyway, as always, I'm Jacques Slade. I appreciate you guys. Let me know down low if there's a sneaker I missed, and let me know which sneaker you're picking up this week. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Peace.